for sure. She coached me a little bit. No, actually a lot. No, she's great. She knows how to bring a team together, and she's got great structure.
Coached New Zealand at the last World Cup, is that right? In Singapore, yep.
Yep, she did, and unfortunate. We didn't win that one. Is that what you're alluding to, Cal?
2 minutes on air and I've already mentioned it. Sorry, I didn't mean to rub it in. It's all right, you got the last win on Sunday. So we are underway. It's the first game of day 5, starting the new pool series. Every team's been re-ranked into a new pool. And this is Pool G. Samoa and Singapore, also Trinidad and Tobago and Zambia, and the first shot falls short. Charmaine So for Singapore.
Look at the elevation in there from the goal defence in Haribalan. She's not the tallest of players, but she definitely gets up there.
So here's Juliana Naupu. Netball fans would be familiar with her work. Played for the Waikato Bay of Plenty Magic, and of course it was the 2012 final against the Melbourne Vixens, where she was the goal attack alongside Irene van Dijk and got the ANZ Champs win. She was in the Silver Fern squad for a little time, Temapara, but had some nasty knee injuries, had to go in for surgery, and really hasn't been the same player since.
Yeah, it's interesting. Injuries either make you a better player or they end your career in terms of how it's gone. So she's been a little bit unlucky, but great to see she's back playing for her country, Samoa.
And obviously has made the switch, just for people that are trying to understand. She trained with you with the Silver Ferns and then suffered the knee injuries, the goal attack for Samoa. But made the switch because her parents are originally from Samoa but have lived in New Zealand for quite a long time.
Yep, that's right. And I think all of Samoa will be happy that she's come back to her host nation.
So the first goal on the board for Singapore.
And Tato in the centre for Samoa. She was actually part of the New Zealand squad. Can't really remember what year it was, but she was definitely part of it. So she's known as Nicolette Rokati, and now she's been married and living in Brisbane for a wee while.
So here's Singapore. What they lack in height, they make up for in speed.
You can see the zone style of defence that Samoa are putting on, marking the space as opposed to the man-on-man style marking.
Nice double play, and here's Chen looking to finish it off. So it was good defence by Robertson, but she was picked up for it. Contact. Chen tries to give it off. Oh, good defence there by Kanamo, using her height. Charmaine So eventually, bounce pass comes in. And that one rolls in for So. So every shooter has scored a goal so far.
Oh, unlucky Jones, looking for that intercept on the outside of the circle.
So Jones can set Samoa up from the back here. They go with Robertson. Well done by Ang. Can she keep it in? Not quite.
It's those cross-court passes that coaches cringe when they see them happen, because that's what the opposition is setting up for the intercepts off them.
Whistle, go back, step back.
And Tanamo to finish off the work for Samoa. They're back in front. They led it 3-2.
When it gets to the qualifying rounds and sort of we're halfway through the competition, you kind of think how the previous games have taken a toll on their bodies, mentally, physically. So it'll be interesting to see the outcome of this game and who's the fittest, I think, out there.
Well, it's a demanding schedule, isn't it? 8 games in 10 days. Every single team is required to play the 8 games, and we've seen a lot of the the elite clubs, the elite teams rather, Australia, New Zealand and England really manage. Even last night, Romelda Aiken for Jamaica didn't get any court time, so she was rested. So they're playing smart in the opening few days and resting the star players.
She must have thought that was retaken.
No whistle at all by the umpire.
Instruction centre. Yes. Instruction defence, both players.
I like the work that Jones and Robinson from Samoa, the defensive pairing, are doing. They're playing a switch type of defence in there.
So Singapore Chen the goal attack. And you'll see her creep down, try and make her way into the circle. More than 100 tests for Singapore for Chen. Playing her 105th today. And there's her shooting partner in Charmaine So. Rolling one in.
Instruction wing attack.
Once again, Harabalan reading that space that they want to feed into.
So Harabalan to Ung. Short, sharp passes, just working the angles.
Instruction goalkeeper. Penalty. Instruction wing defence. Yes, both players.
Chen, not quite, a misfire.
Contact shooter, penalties mark.
So Samoa looking to level it up at 5 goals apiece. Naupu to Timothy, and then that fires into Panamo.
Much better speed on attack from Samoa, letting the ball go. The angles that always beat the defenders.
That was clever by Juliana Naupu, but it didn't quite come off. Was she trying to use the pole then, I think, the post?
Yep, she uses the post as a person to pass back to herself.
So the rule, just take us through, clarify that rule for us, Tamapara. You can use it as basically a teammate.
Yeah, you can, and because it is not human, it's not considered a short pass or anything. So very clever. Naupu. I think we saw Kumwenda do a pass to the pole from way out as well. So it's definitely an active player for the teams out there.
Advantage obstruction wing defence.
Chen to So. Oh. So just looks at the umpire waiting for the call and it didn't come. So with the turnover, Harabalan just flying at some of those early high balls. It's good to see.
Someone needs to start driving into those balls. Great ball from Timisi.
And Panama now up to 3 goals. Naupu has 2. Charmaine So with 4 for Singapore, and Chen chipping in with 1. Here she is from long range. It's an awkward looking style, but it is effective for Chen. Playing her 3rd World Cup, so she's one of the experienced players out there, the co-vice captain of this team. That's a nice ball into Tanamo.
Great timing by Tanamo, driving down, change of pace and speed to take that drive on the base.
Tanamo's got court time in the 3 games so far, 15 goals against Jamaica, 20 goals against Scotland, and 17 goals against England.
Contact wing defence, penalty.
Using her height under the post
Forward, please, wing
for
defence.
Samoa. Izura can't quite hit up a target. It's like a pinball in there. It comes back to Chen. The look away pass to So. Just falls a little short. So Samoa away, a chance for Samoa to hit the front.
Well, I think Naopu's a bit guilty of just standing and waiting for the ball. She needs to take her feet and drive into it. Hirubalan is definitely taking the ball off her.
Yeah, an offensive penalty against Tanamo, so couldn't convert on the turnover, and now we're back with Singapore.
Advantage on side centre. Contact centre, advantage on the deliberate offside.
Chen in two minds and has coughed that ball up, unfortunately. Kamapara, there's a lot of defensive pressure being applied by the Samoan defenders. Sort of over the shot, isn't it, that long arms?
For sure, and also on the outside you've got Karatu and Tato doing some great defensive 3-foot marking, which is helping the in-circle defenders.
Naupu's going to back herself in the lefty. She's got a beautiful shot. She is all class. Love to see her back in the ANZ, but is it right to say she would have to come back in as an import now, given that she does represent Samoa?
Yeah, that's right. She'll definitely be part of an input, and it's probably hard to get into teams when you're classed as an import because they look at their own first and only in specific positions, which we've really seen have been in the circles.
So a timeout's been called by Tato, the centre for Samoa, just getting some attention to her left wrist, and a chance for the teams to come together for the first time. Just under 5 minutes left in this first quarter. Samoa leading Singapore 8-6. Naupu, you can see with plenty to say in the huddle there for Samoa. So they'd be really desperate, really keen for a win today.
It's really important that we can play the width of the court as well. Come to the centre, out to the other side, split them, all right? And you time it, you can come out to non-ball side sometimes to open it up as well. Okay? Good work, defence, right? Well done. On the defence through court, once your players come down here, I want you to get ball side, so it's got to be lifted to her. She can't be a flat and square on that transverse. Let's put that pressure between her and the ball. Okay, let's go. Okay.
So Singapore, of course, they hosted the last World Cup 4 years ago. They finished 15th out of the 16 teams that competed. Currently ranked 14 in the world. They've got 7 debutants in their team. And the average height, just 174 centimetres. Sorry, Kamapara, I always feel like I'm talking about height with you.
Yeah, only when you're with me, Cal.
Yeah, that's it.
Hey, but they're showing that they don't need that extra height in there. They're getting the ball down, they're playing smart, they're playing to their strengths, which is the short, sharp, playing underneath the Samoans, and you're finishing it off nicely in the circle.
So Baizura for Singapore. A foot on the line, I think. Or so. Already having a look at that turnover count, and it's mounting up to 7 for Singapore. So if they could just eliminate that from their game and treasure possession a little bit more, they would be probably
competing.
Yeah. Well, in front, you'd have to say, because they've sort of dominated a lot of the possession in this first quarter, but it's Samoa that's out to a 3-goal lead.
It's interesting because you look at the other countries as well, and what's letting them down is those basic turnovers, so the breaking, stepping. So those are the coach killers we need to eliminate from the game. Oh, unlucky Karatu. Great reading on the pass going through.
Centre, penalty. Contact centre, penalty Singapore.
And look at that height difference between Chen and Robertson. Chen just stands at 169 centimetres, the smallest player there, the goal attack. And Robertson very tall. Saw that last night with the goal shooter for Jamaica, Fowler Reid, against poor old Scotland. It was a big ask.
Obstruction, go wing defence.
Oh, Karato's getting some hands to the ball, but just called for obstruction.
Singapore.
So Chen will take the ball the top to the baseline, looks to find a player. So, for another one. Some effortless motion on that shooting style for Charmaine So. 39 goals against Sri Lanka, 11 against South Africa, and then 23 for Malawi. She's in some form, has scored plenty of goals in this tournament. Naupu adds the finishing touches. And they maintain that 2-goal lead with 2 minutes left to play in this first quarter.
You see a blue across that transverse line in the Singapore attacking end.
Contact wing defence, penalty.
Nice rebound by Samoa, but unable to control it. Hatu was there, couldn't get her hand to it, so Rubalan to Lim. Here's So, a long way from the post. Oh, nice double play, Chen. Got a bit of confidence about them now, Singapore.
Contact goalkeeper.
And a bit of rhythm.
Sorry, both the shooters are doing a great job on overloading one of the defenders. The defenders are playing a side type of marking game, so overloading one, and there's always the option to pass to each other.
Charmaine So up to 7 goals now. She's the highest scorer on the court. 40 seconds left on the clock. That would have been an opportunity to get it all level at 10 goals apiece, so they squander an opportunity. Singapore.
Contact.
That'll come back to Hade Karato. Tato. Members of the crowd calling out 10 seconds to go. They need to move it in quickly, but they're not panicking. Tanamo on the baseline wants it. Napu sets the screen, allows Tanamo to come through, and then popping out is Napu. Can she score on quarter time? Yes, it counts. So, no, it was denied, in fact. No, it's counted. So a bit of confusion, but we got there in the end. And it's Samoa leading Singapore 11-9. So not too much between these two teams, Tema Parabali. As a result of that first 15 minutes, it's Samoa by 2 goals.
Yeah, it's great to see it. Interesting with how it's gone. It's been unlucky with Singapore. They've just sort of let the ball go out the back in that shooting circle. Samoa, I think, need to be have a lot more drives through court when it's turned over from defence to attack, but set up for a good second quarter.
We have a look at some of the stats and look at that goal attempts. I said there's not much between them. Well, they've had the same number of goal attempts.
You're right there in terms of Samoa being the front, and that's because of the shooting percentages. 77% to Singapore 69, and Samoa have got the majority of the rebounds at 5 to Singapore's 0.
Here's some of the highlights from that first quarter. There were plenty of turnovers all up. We saw 15 turnovers, but some nice passages of play as well, both these sides, just looking for a little bit more consistency.
Yeah, you're right, and that word is probably common with a lot of the teams throughout the competition, that they do have patches of brilliance, but need to continue to do that on a more consistent level. But good work from Singapore. They're playing their short games, like I said. They're playing to their strengths. They're not the tallest. They're just playing the short, sharp, underneath the defenders, and when they do, they finish it off beautifully.
We're really seeing two different styles of netball here today, aren't we?
We sure are. We've got the tall Tanimo at 1.87 at goal shoot for Samoa, and then 1.77 in so for Singapore. So when Samoa do have that punch and intensity that they bring in, that tacking in, it works really well, and put the ball into space and take it strongly. They finish it off really nicely.
So Tanimo has 5 goals in that first quarter, 5 from 7 attempts. Naupu 5 from 6, and it's So leading the way with 7 goals there. Singapore with a little bit of support in the crowd. It's in the green and gold in already. Gee, they're going to have a long day.
The die-hard netball fans, Cal, they love it, and they come here and enjoy what's been put out on court, which is fantastic for the teams that are playing.
So we're about to turn into the second quarter here, and I think an adjustment has been made to the scoreboard. It is the first game of day 5. Everyone's a little bit scratchy, including the officials, and they were denied that last-minute goal, Samoa. So it is 10-9, just 1 goal the difference. Here we go with the second quarter.
Oh, I like Tato. She went for the intercept with her eyes facing the other way.
Tato giving away a couple of contact calls. Chen, oh, that's from a long way out, rocking back under a lot of pressure being applied, and as a result, Robertson being asked to stand out. In fact, it was Jones. Samoa straight down the corridor.
Much better transition from defence to attack.
Just getting her hand in there, causing some havoc. Tato couldn't quite get the clean feed into Naupu. And the fake, the balk, and eventually she converts. Back out by 2. And a fumble from Tanimo. Lim to So. Oh, look away pass. And it comes unstuck because Harakarato was right onto that.
She's been good, especially in the deflections. She's leading those. She's got 2 already.
Oh, turnover. So it's turnover city to start this second quarter. Lim, Azura, back to Lim. And again, another one. Great hustle by Samoa defensively. So just rolls that in coolly for goal number 8. Checks the giant screen above her, and she'll be happy with what she sees because Singapore has possession, although they might have just given it back up again. Breaking calls. So we've seen everything, just about every call that you can see in netball Temapara in this game so far.
I said it was going to be a cracker. I don't know so much for the coaches.
Yes, well, the coach killers, aren't they? Tell us a little bit about the Singapore coach, Ruth Aiken. As you mentioned, a former coach for you. She coached New Zealand in 2011 at that World Cup. And she's been around for a long time. What sort of coach is she?
Yeah, no, she's a great coach. Like I said, she knows how to bring a team together and create that culture within the group. And you saw her at quarter time, just how calm she was in delivering the messages to her team. So as a player, that's what you would expect, not someone who's like, and you've got to get out there and be calm when you execute. So, yeah, great coach.
And it's good to see that she's here coaching Singapore. Norma Plummer's here coaching South Africa. Of course, they sort of went toe-to-toe, head-to-head in that last final in Singapore 4 years ago. But these coaches that have been around for a long time, they've got all the experience in the world, they're giving back to the game.
Yeah, it's great, and that's all that sharing that's needed right throughout the world, and it's, like I said, it's great to see them both doing that.
So, that awkward-looking style. It's a great goal from long range over the long arms of Jones. Izura.
Oh, great ball into there, threading that ball through what saw was just a little gap, but found it.
Threaded that ball beautifully. So to level it all up at 12 goals apiece. Singapore, this is gutsy. Robertson.
Now you can see Singapore putting on that zone and setting it up for that very reason. Marking the space, creating the vision to see if it looks open and then attacking it.
That's Prem Hirabalan, most experienced player for Singapore, just throwing herself around at every loose ball. Playing her 108th test for Singapore, 32-year-old, and playing in her 4th World Cup. She played in 99, 2007 and 2011.
And the stats are showing her experience. She's got 5 deflections and 1 pickup already.
Lim, it was a short pass into Chen. She thought of the long bomb. Oh, great footwork call.
That continual pressure and that stretch of Jones in the back there.
You have a look at the matchup just physically and the bodies out there. It looks like a sort of 21 and unders playing a 15 and unders, doesn't it?
Sure does.
Samoa just so much bigger and physically imposing, tall under the post, particularly defensively as well. But Singapore got plenty of heart. Playing to their strengths, moving it quickly. Speed to burn by Zura to Lim. Not much of Lim, Kimberly Lim, just 162 centimetres. Shortest player out there. I think the shortest player for the tournament is at 160 centimetres. Oh, that's disappointing. A miscommunication between the two shooters.
Better passing cut by Tato. And you've got an attacking end that actually does their job down there. It makes the job so much easier for the in-circle shooters.
So Lim giving away the contact.
I was going to say, Lim and Karato are having a great battle there.
Aren't they? If it was a boxing match between them, you would have called it off in the first round because it looks so unfair. But Lim and Hada Karato. Here's Lim.
Bondage obstruction. Obstruction way.
Nice rebounds.
All short.
Bondage obstruction shooter. Bondage obstruction shooter.
Get there and everyone's just stationary. They need that punch, they need that drive into the ball.
Unfortunate call against Lynn.
Nice balance. Tanamo in the back there, off balance, turned, swiveled and had time to put it through the hoop.
So Singapore, is it? It's called the medical timeout. Yeah, it's Chen who's just going to get a little bit of attention and a chance for Ruth Aitken to come out and talk to her team. And Samoa as well, the coach for Samoa, Marcia Hardcastle. She would know a lot about her as well, New Zealand born. Did her daughter play for New Zealand?
She did. Sonia Hardcastle, one of the greats that have that played for New Zealand. Also been coached by Marcia, actually, playing for the local North Harbour competition. So a very good coach that got lots and lots of knowledge for the game, and a great person to bring a team together and create that culture, as with Ruth as well.
centre pass, okay? Let's go. Okay, go and swap now. Go and get...
So Samoa's out to their biggest lead, which is 4 goals, and we will see a change in the shooting circle for Singapore, with Chen going to the bench, and it looks like Yu's coming on. So Yu will be the goal shooter, 179 centimetres, playing in her first World Cup. Played against South Africa, scored 6 goals from 9 attempts, and she played against Malawi, 3 goals from 4 attempts. So hasn't seen too much of the action so far. And it will push So out to goal attack.
Nice timing in the pass, nice hold by Tanamo, not moving too soon, so it eats up the space. So great work by Samoa.
Blood. From you.
No surprise that the blood call is for Harakarato. She's been in everything.
They might need to check Lim, her opposite.
So a 5-goal lead now. So Chen go to the bench. She had just the 2 goals from the 4 attempts. So in that goal attack position, saw plenty of the ball, was sort of involved in every second pass, but just hasn't been able to apply any scoreboard pressure. So into goal attack, and Yu at goal shooter. Will that have a change for them? Here's Lim.
Oh, nice teamwork between Robertson and Jones there. One took the front and Robertson come around the back.
Great transition. In the blink of an eye, they take it from one end to the other and score, and they put their foot down, Samoa. They lead it by 6. Come out for a couple now. Maybe 3rd time lucky for Ung if she can, looking for an intercept.
Instruction, goal. Contact goal defence.
Much better space to Tanamo. Ball released.
Yeah, it's against you.
And Tanamo just continues to pile on the goals now. She's scored her 10th. She's up to double digits.
When you look at the amount of attempts that's shared between Tanamo and Naopu compared to So, and who was on their 10. Tanamo 13, Naopu 10, and then So 14 and 10 4. So the goal attack has more influence with the Samoan team.
Yu has just come on, but she's battling against these Samoan defenders to get some space. Here she is, her first attempt. Looks a little nervous, and it wobbles out, but a little lark on, a replay call.
I think Samoa's got 8 players working here behind the bench. Base, go base. There's those coach killers, the non-negotiables, stepping.
That's better by Yu. Now, she needs to convert for her confidence, and she does. Great play, Singapore.
That was unlucky.
Yeah, just a little scratchy and a bit error-riddled with 5 minutes less than to go. Nice ball into So. They're pegging back this lead. Counting down to half-time with possession. Lim wants to go. Forced to go backwards to Vaizura.
Great first and second phase off the centre pass from Singapore, but it's just that next one where they're struggling into the shooters. It's a great defensive effort by Samoa.
And a gift for Singapore with that call. That's 3 in a row. So Samoa's biggest lead, they are out by 7. And now it's back to 4. It's concentration for Samoa, isn't it? Their best is very, very good. But it's the intensity required, and they sort of look to take their foot off the pedal at times. Tanamo, look away pass into Nahupu, who finishes with ease.
Time, please, Samoa.
Contact.
I was blowing you back on side, ladies. Take it back.
Just looking to reset. Bit of confusion out there. And a big smile on the face of Baizuran. She's enjoying it.
Contact. Bring attack.
Ang to Lim. So has been crunched by Jones.
Poland goal defense. Yes.
And Charmaine So continues on her good form.
Just a little bit late from Jones. Definitely saw it. Maybe needed to lead a bit earlier.
So scored the most goals out there. She's got 13, closing in on half-time.
Contact. Wing attack. Wing defense.
And just a tangle with Temasi. And that's just the second miss for Juliana Naupu.
Contact.
Lynn can set them up.
Poland goal defense.
Singapore, they've got another foray forward.
Advantage offside.
Well played by Lim. A couple of nice feeds into the circle. So not quite.
That stretch from Jones is definitely putting So off.
Advantage obstruction goal attack.
Just the finishing touches from Samoa. Those little passes not put into space, just passing to the player when there's a defender there.
Advantage contact. Wing defense. Advantage contact. Obstruction goals.
So the call against Mickey Lynn, she doesn't like it. Pointed to herself as if to say, me? Are you serious?
Got to challenge these umpires.
Yeah, keep them on their toes
Keep
as
them
well.
on their toes.
Well, it's a long tournament for the umpires as well. Can they score? Can they get it back within 4 before half-time? They trailed by 1 goal, Singapore at quarter time. The long ball into you was spot on from Baizura. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Samoa.
That's deflating for Singapore.
Advantage same pace.
Much better when Samoa turn and let the ball go. Like I said, just those finishing touches.
They are keeping the door open and keeping Singapore in it. Baizura, fumble, regather. Lim. Oh, well played by Jones. He's given it straight back to them. A big shot from you. The long bomb. And that will be the final score, you would think, before half-time. And well played by you, who came on in that second quarter. And that was just her second goal for the game. And they are back within 4 goals. 5 goals, rather, it is 21-16.
Home broadband data away from home at thousands of hotspots across the country on Australia's largest Wi-Fi network. Telstra Air is how.
The New South Wales Government welcomes you to Sydney Olympic Park for the Netball World Cup, secured for Sydney by Destination New South Wales. Chemist Warehouse loves to celebrate a happy and healthy lifestyle. So, this Netball World Cup, remember to get well, stay well, live well, and look fabulous every day with Chemist Warehouse, the house of wellness. FanFest is our social home of Netball World Cup and gives fans the chance to meet up and get ready for the games. Free, no ticket needed, and just across the road.
So Singapore has never beaten Samoa in a Netball World Cup, and at half-time it is Samoa leading by 4 goals. Tema Parabailey, take us through these stats.
Yeah, and I think on that, the reason why is the turnovers. They've got 6 turnovers to Samoa's 3. And also the shooting percentage. You look at the goal attempts even again, so very consistent in terms of goal attempts, 26 apiece.
Some of the highlights from that first half, and we saw Tanamo here has 10 goals. Or rather, that's Juliana Napu has 11, so she's leading the way. She scored 5 goals in the first quarter, 6 in the second, as Napu puts it up again, and her shooting partner Tanamo has 10. Up the other end, Lim's been good in that wing attack position. Bit of a firecracker and providing a bit of energy for the shooters from Singapore.
She's definitely got a big engine in there, and she's very competitive, and with that engine is a big heart, so well done to Lynn. And just to see space through the 2 big defenders in Jones and Robertson. And what I like in that shooting circle is the shared ability to share the shooting range for Samoa. And what was working for them is when they release a long ball from the defensive end and they have that strong drive and intense down the court, it's definitely paying off for them.
If you were coaching Samoa, what would be your one message to them? Because, I mean, they're physically so imposing. They've got all the skills in the world. Just cough up a little bit too much ball, so the potential is there. What would you say to them if there was one thing you could say to Samoa?
Yeah, probably a couple, Kel. It would be not to stand and wait for the ball, to drive into it and just be calm on the release and pass into space. So pretty easy, but I know it's a lot difficult when you're out there on court.
Okay, so half-time, Samoa looking for their first win here of the Netball 2015 World Cup. They led it 21-17. So Samoa saying that the third quarter is usually the one they struggle in a little bit.
That's a nice way of explaining what she said, Cal.
There's a beeper when you need it. So it'll be Singapore to start us in this second half by Zura to Hirabalan, who was one of their better players in that first half. Prem Hirabalan. Interesting background for the goal defence for Singapore, as Yu starts with a goal. Yeah, the goal defence for Singapore. She is a doctor. She lives in Melbourne. played in the 99 World Champs as a 17-year-old in Christchurch. You would have been there, Timapari. Probably can't remember playing against her.
I didn't actually play 99 cow.
Okay.
But I know you're going to say, who won? It's either height or winning world championships.
Exactly, exactly. So this, many think, will be the swan song for Prem Hirabalan, the goal defence for Singapore. Looking to go out on a winning note.
Great work by Jones, great timing. Oh, just those little errors creeping in with Samoa.
And that's one of the changes that's been made. Olivia Flanagan coming on at wing defence for Singapore. Born in England, playing in her first World Cup, a Singapore expat who got the citizenship. So she's the wing defence for Singapore. Lim, you is a long way out.
Contact centre.
Chance here for Singapore to score the first 3 goals of the third quarter. Not to be.
Just miscommunication between Tamisi and To'o.
Poking out was you just popping out on the baseline, and they've got the first 3 of this third quarter. Well, Samoa's right in their huddle. Their third quarters is where they take the foot off the pedal, because they've done just that. That's better. Great play by Juliana Napu. Double play and finishes it off. A bit more intensity about them. Napu from the Silver Fern.
See the difference between the Singapore and Samoan attack. Oh, nice work, Williams. Great reading. Is that they actually keep driving until they receive the ball. Don't think it's going to get over top of Jones. It needs to be a pinpoint pass. Great work by Jones. Much better driving by Naopu.
Back-to-back goals for Napu. She fakes once, twice, and eventually gets there.
Contact, wing defense. Advantage obstruction, goal attack. Oh, too tight.
Oh, unlucky. That was a quick 3 seconds.
Wasn't it? Lim goes off the boards into So. And it'll be used ball. So her 5th goal from 9 attempts. Just starting to really find her rhythm and timing now.
The combination between So and You, I think, is probably one of the better combinations that Singapore's put out there. Working well together, and You is just holding her space under that post.
Flanagan now on the edge of the circle. Azura. Just So on the baseline. Sensational, the long bomb. Maria Tutayer, eat your heart out.
Holding goal defense. Goal third.
They've come alive, Singapore, in this third quarter.
Just not doing enough offensively, the shooters, Naopu and To'o, to keep the goalkeeper off.
So To'o scores her first goal.
Contact, goal attack.
Singapore draw within 1.
She's on fire, so in this third quarter.
Well and truly within striking distance. So the decision to Mapara by Samoa to
Shooters area.
take off their goal shooter after that first half. An interesting decision, Tanamo.
Shooters area.
10 goals she had from 13 attempts.
Yeah, it is interesting. However, I do think it's before it gets to the circle where they're having problems, that driving down the court and hitting the circle edge. Naopu's not bad in that shooting position, but they need to look down a lot more. And Singapore are just relishing their mistakes.
To level it up, she's been able to shoot it from close range, but hasn't been able to nail a long one yet. So has been on fire and continues on her winning ways. Goal number 17.
Now she's up to 80%.
And Singapore hits the front. Well, I'm not sure what Ruth Aitken said to them at half-time, but it's worked. Maybe a few more supporters coming in at the main break. And no great surprise that there has been an injury time called out by Samoa, because Singapore has come out and doubled Samoa's score in this third quarter, 6-3. They trailed by 7 goals in that second quarter. And suddenly, in the blink of an eye, they've hit the front.
They have, and I think the change they made with Flanagan coming in at wing defence has given that extra height, so it's stopping Samoa from delivering that ball straight into Naopu under the post. It's a great move by Ruth Aitken.
Certainly is. Now Samoa's got their work cut out.
Sorry, that's my bad. I wasn't ready for that. Just come back and open. Sir? Guys, come in, guys. Guys,
every single ball counts.
yes.
Okay?
I realize when attack, just be patient. It's okay. Not really okay. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the frustrated
We are
one.
on a roll, we can do this.
Correct.
Like
Yeah.
each other, how we can do
Just
this.
let Shah run in. Say to Russia.
Singapore.
Well, there's belief in that camp. Isn't that great, the insight? Absolutely love the fact that we can get the mics into the huddles, and there really is belief in Singapore, and you can just see Temapara Bailey how much it means to these girls.
For sure, and just the positiveness that they're bringing in. They just seem like they want to do it for each other, and not only the team, but their country as well.
So Singapore, they had a win on day one. They beat Sri Lanka by 13 goals. After that, they lost to South Africa by 48, and they lost to Malawi by 44. So another close encounter for them. Can they get over the line and have 2 wins from their 4 games to date? That would be a big victory for them. Mentioned earlier, they finished 15th from the 16 teams in Singapore when they hosted the World Cup 4 years ago. What a great improvement this would be. Flanagan had an impact since coming on at wing defence. Kira Balan, the veteran, who's leading them really well out there.
Much better defensive effort in that defensive end by Samoa.
And so has the hot hand. Just Mazda. Well, that won't be on the highlights reel for Samoa, and you can make them pay. You bet she can. Back in front, Singapore. Samoans have gone off the boil, Temapara.
They certainly have, and it's just their attacking prowess that's much better movement of the ball. Great deception by Williams, looking one way, Nobu offering on the base.
If anyone can drag them back, it's the class of Juliana Naupu. Little offload to Tahoe.
Great work, Williams. Stayed on her player, one-on-one marking, and got the intercept.
And she goes Williams with the long pass into Naupu. Naupu.
She did a big circle then. She started
She
there,
did.
ran
Can
around,
she
and ended there.
Drag them back into the contest. She can. It's just getting a little bit louder in the house.
The Coach Giller breaking non-negotiable.
Hirabalan moving it quickly. So involved in the passage of play. Now strong drive on the baseline from Charmaine So. Too far out to score. Doesn't want to turn and shoot from there. Although the confidence is up and she can't miss. Charmaine So is putting on a clinic.
On fire.
All tied up, 27 goals apiece. Yu's going to back herself in as well, and she drops one.
It's amazing what a little bit of confidence does for players.
Well, So started it, and she is just dragging Yu along. This is a great display of shooting from Singapore.
Contact goal defense.
Ta'o came on at half-time.
She's been good when she goes to the post. She's had 3 attempts and she's shot 3 of them.
She's had court time in all 3 games for Samoa so far, but not too much court time. 8 goals against Jamaica, 2 against Scotland and 7 against England. This has been the first real pressure cooker for Samoa.
Too easy. Great work by Yu, sneaking around Jones and finishing it off.
She's got better as the game's gone on.
Contact wing attack.
She's up to 6 goals now. And everything is going Singapore's way. Well, what a momentum swing. We heard in the huddle at halftime before they stepped out for this third quarter, Samoa said third quarters have not been great. And they were right on, and they haven't been able to respond, unfortunately.
Yeah, Tamesi has been expensive for the Samoans with 4 turnovers, the highest in the team.
Singapore leads Samoa in this third quarter 11-7.
It's little errors like that, stopping the ball out of your hand.
Charmaine So is running rings around the Samoan defenders.
Instruction, goalkeeper, castle shot.
So can't miss. Buries the long bomb. Goal number 20. Single-handedly leading the way. And now they're skipping up to a 2-goal lead. They're trailed by 7 in the third quarter. That's better by Samoa. Ta'o on the baseline. Lim, patient. Happy to work it backwards and sideways. It's great stuff by Singapore. And eventually the finish and the beaming smile from Yu afterwards.
And clapped her shot. Why not? It was a good one.
So we've seen a 10-goal turnaround in this match. Naupu allows it just to roll closer to the post. And she won't miss from there. So 2 minutes left before three-quarter time in this third quarter. Singapore has outscored Samoa 14-8. And it's all thanks to Charmaine So, who is putting on a shooting display, one that we really haven't seen so far in this tournament. We saw Fowler Reid for Jamaica dominate with 50+ last night, but Charmaine So from every spot within that circle isn't afraid to turn and shoot.
Distraction, both of you.
Great ball by Williams. He's turning, seeing the space and letting it go.
Distraction.
When the Samoans should get the ball in the circle, they're definitely finishing it off, but they're just having issues of actually giving more ball to the shooters coming through court.
And that was the issue for Singapore in the first half. They could get it into the circle, but the shooters couldn't really finish it because of the defensive pressure being applied by the Samoan defenders. But Singapore now really opening up the Samoan defence. Just everything's falling their way. Except for that.
35 seconds. Can Samoa score off this?
Karato moving it quickly to Williams. Williams has been good since she came on into Naupu.
Contact.
The fake works and she finishes it off. And there is just one goal in it.
I'm not sure if they realise there's only 12 seconds. 10 now.
Time is ticking down. Williams needs to get it in quickly to Naupu if she can. She does. She turns. She spins. She will have a shot. So Juliana Naupu won an ANZ Championship medal with the Waikato Bay of Plenty Magic, and all the experience in the world guarantees that goal. And so the score at half-time, it is 33 Singapore to 32 Samoa. So an update of that score, just taking that goal into account. A little slow updating our screens here in the giant screen. It is, in fact, Tamabara Bailey, 33 goals apiece. So the scene is set perfectly for the final 15 minutes. Samoa desperate to get their first win. Singapore desperate to cause an upset.
Really important that we get the cutback of the goal attack on the centre pass. At the moment, and I would rather that actually we do 2 on the goal attack and 1 on the...
Here is the stats after the first 3 quarters. What stands out for you?
Yeah, look at the rebounds from Samoa. They're getting 8 to Singapore's 1, but in that last quarter there was really no rebounds because the Singapore shooters were on fire, which has brought their percentage up to 73%. You just look at the space that Yu has created under that post, just with the added extra height against Jones, who actually got the better of her in that second quarter, I thought, and the ability for the attackers from Singapore to bring the ball down nice and calmly for the shooters to finish off. What I also like about the Singapore shooters is that they're overloading one defender, because the defenders in Jones and Robinson are playing sides. And then once Samoa get the ball into the circle, it's a surety from Naupu and To'o in terms of the goal percentage and putting it in. They just need more intensity and penetration down to the circle edge from the likes of Tamesi and Williams coming through court.
And there was the shooting display that was put on by the goal shooter for a goal attack, rather. She did switch positions in that third quarter for Singapore, Charmaine So. She had 8 goals in that third quarter from 9 attempts. And her shooting partner, Yu, 8 from 10 in that third quarter. Mind you, if you isolate the Samoan shooters, Naupu 7 from 7 in that quarter, and Teo, since she came on, 5 from 5. So they didn't miss the Samoan shooters, keeping them really in the contest.
Yeah, it's just getting that ball to them is the issue. So, like I said, they need probably a change in that midcourt to get that penetration down to the circle edge, but also the ability to let the ball go one-on-one with Naupu.
What a star Charmaine So is. Can she get them over the line in this last quarter? It's all tied up, 33 goals apiece. So the body language reading that, Singapore up and about. like a boxer about to step into the ring. They're jumping up and down on their toes, full of energy. They sense a victory here against Samoa. Samoa needs to find a way to win. Oh, no, Pooh. The change has been made in that defensive circle. And Juliana's younger sister, Jennifer Naupu, has come on.
Interesting change there. I didn't think Jones was doing too bad, although they were getting shots and shooting it, so you probably think that they needed something different. And maybe with Naupu, they want her to look for the ball outside the circle.
And they're serious about this win, Samoa, because they've brought Tanamo back on. Had 10 goals in that first half, benched in the second.
And Tato's come back into the centre, and Williams moved into that wing attack position.
Flanagan for Singapore to Lin, who's battled her heart out all day. Yu finally found a bit of confidence, and the defensive rebound goes the way of Robertson.
Sorry, and those are the crumbs that you need, and when you get those crumbs, you need to score off them.
Jennifer Naupu, she's a giant, 185 centimetres, playing just her 6th test for Samoa.
Wing defense centre. Both players. Contact wall goalkeeper.
You're looking at the height difference between Tanamo and
Contact
Haribula, and you just think you would give it to Tanamo a lot more because of that.
Contact. Center. Center third. Yes. Advantage obstruction. Possession wing. Defense.
Nice back pass behind her, so.
Going off the boards a couple of times, Singapore, and then so radar's just gone off. Naupu.
Hara Karato's been good tonight, and her drives, her offensive play has been really good.
Oh, that's a let off there for Samoa. There's a loose ball. Call against Mickey Lin. And Tanamo, too tall, too strong. Crowd really getting behind both these teams. You can see behind the Samoan bench, there's plenty of fans there in Samoan t-shirts. And a pocket of Samoan fans just sitting up behind us, Temapara, so they're right into this. They want to bring their team home, see if they can celebrate their first win at Netball's World Cup.
And they're loving it. They're definitely the extra coach and players on the sideline telling them what to do on court.
It's an 8th player in the crowd, and it's for Samoa.
Advantage on offside wing attack and obstruction.
Oh, strong drive by So, but it went unwhistled. Hang on now, there's a bit of confusion. The umpire needs to take control here.
It's just a delayed call, wasn't it? She'd already got it, turned and let go, and then pulled back.
For goal number 24, she steadies.
Nice reading by Naupu. Coming up, and that's what they need. Ah, brilliant intercept by Lin.
Mickey Lin, plenty of athleticism in that move. Had a bit of Laura Geitz about it.
And they're not easy intercepts to get because you're marking your own player, but then going to pick it off someone else's. It's a skill in itself.
Oh, the call was against you. Offensive.
That's causing contact when attack.
Lim takes another heavy knock. She's run a half marathon today, has Lim. And Tanamo down the other end. So Tanamo now goal number 12, and Samoa edge 2 goals clear. And their coach just has a bit of swig of water because it's going to be a long final 10 minutes for her.
Going to say she's been good on those low balls. I love her stance. She doesn't go straight up in the air. Her arms are to the side. She knows they're shorter players. Just unlucky on that one.
Charmaine So. I was going to say you leave her open and she knocks it down, but hardly any of her shots have been while she's been open. Oh! Kato.
Contact goalkeeper, pass the shot.
Naupu. This is when you really need Juliana Naupu to stand up. She's been on the big stage before, Temapara. She needs to show her teammates the way. Here's how we win. I'm the goal shooter. I'm going to take it upon myself. She really needs to stand up in these final 10 minutes.
Absolutely, and when there's someone in need, she needs to pop out and just dominate out there.
Kimberly Lim getting a little bit of treatment. She has been bashed and bruised. She'll wake up tomorrow morning feeling every muscle in her body. Smallest player out there, 162 centimetres. But a big heart, Kimberly Lim. Just provided, sort of been the engine room in that mid-court, hasn't she? She's a little pocket rocket sprinting from side to side, gives them plenty of energy.
She is, and you said like she's the shortest player out there, but she can definitely see those spaces into the shooters, and she's giving Ahara Karatu a run for her money out there today.
So Samoa, after a slow third quarter, they led by 1 at half-time. They led by 4, sorry, rather, they led it by 1 at quarter time, by 4 at half-time. At one stage, they led by 7. But they went cold in that third quarter.
Okay.
Kind of looked like she fell on her hand and crunched her wrist.
Yep, sure. Yes, you need to. Defenders running down, so if I run up, then no, we don't run out. That's the home end. We're actually a third option.
Because your side is left side, it's okay. It's okay, yeah, it's okay. Never mind. I'll cut your space.
So they've made the change, have they? Lim has come off. Well, that could be really pivotal for Singapore. That incident reminded me a little bit of Verity Simmons. I think it was the second round in the ANZ champs this year. The wing attack also for the Queensland Firebirds, falling backwards, landed awkwardly on her wrist. She broke her wrist and missed about 8 weeks of action. So let's hope for Kimberly Lim that there's not a break in that wrist and that she is okay, but her absence will be noticed.
Great work by Naupu. That's such a hard intercept to get. Coming around the player. Great patience, better patience by Samoa. Williams has been good since she's come on. Great intensity and penetration done in that attacking end is exactly what Samoa need.
And now they're out by 3. Can Singapore land a few more punches before we're done here?
I was just going to say, Naupu is definitely stepping up. She's passing and cutting, trying to get every second pass.
Here she is. We said she has to be the go-to girl. She's the star of the show. She's the one that's got to lift them. And a goal assist for Naupu, and Tanamo does the job. So Chen's come on in that wing attack position for the injured Kimberly Lin. Chen started as a goal attack in the first half, just the 2 goals. And so that's kept them in it. Gone cold at the worst possible moment. Oh, so somehow miraculously wins that back, and Yu converts the goal. Gee, they needed that. A settler for Naupu. It's been a real arm wrestle, a real tug of war this match. The first match in Pool G, first match of day number 5. The blockbusters are tonight. We've got a double header coming your way. New Zealand and Jamaica, followed by Australia and England. But if this is a taste of what's to come, been highly enjoyable so far.
Great pressure applied by Tato.
Contact, goal attack.
Robertson forced to go backwards to Hadakarato.
See, there's no drive coming through from that back court.
There's just no movement, is there?
No movement at all.
They are tiring. Forced to go the long one. Oh, great feed. Quick hands into Naupu, falling out of court. And Tanamo. Lead is now 5. 5 minutes left on the clock. Samoa lead it by 5. They did lead by 7 in that second quarter. Singapore came back. They hit the front. They led by 3 in the third. Naupu.
She's definitely ruling that circle, isn't she?
She certainly is. She has stepped up. Can't quite find it, though. Oh, so footwork call against Flanagan. All their good work coming undone, Singapore.
I think Naupu, I could just see in the line that she thought to give it to Tony Mac. Oh, great intercept there by Lynn. I think that's her second in this quarter coming out for a ball like that.
It certainly is. Well, it's all on the line for these two countries. Two proud nations. Wins have been hard to come by. And whichever team can get up will really celebrate this hard. It's been a tough match. They have given their all. It'll come the way of Charmaine So. Just when her country needs her, she fires it. 4 minutes, 4 goals and possession for Singapore. Oh, it's breaking. Oh, you've been hot on that Temapara all day.
Again, it's that pressure time, you know, the pressure times when they're really close, they need everything, and then they just get a break in there.
Well, even the best do it. You remember that Delhi double extra overtime. Sherelle McMahon in the final minutes.
I'm glad you brought up one we did win, Cal.
So into you. Oh, the offensive rebound is big. That's big for Singapore. 2 in a row. And the margin is 3. Look at the bench. Urging them on. Had some great close games in the last few days. Oh, Flanagan. Wales got over the line in a thriller against Uganda yesterday. And if this is a taste of what's to come, bring it on. Samoa by 3. Looking for their first win for the tournament. Naupu, class. She is a class above. Singapore's got all the fight and all the spirit in the world. Rolls out, so controls it. A lucky break for Singapore. Now, they can't afford to miss Temapara. If they get a shot, they cannot afford to miss it.
No, they definitely can't, and they need to find that rhythm they had in that third quarter.
Must score for her country. The second attempt.
Jennifer Noble's been good coming on in this fourth quarter. She's been out hunting, she's getting rebounds, she's always there on an attack.
She has stepped up, just as you've talked her up. Tanamo wants it, she's by herself under the post. Williams can't get her there. And a rush of blood. Look at the urgency by Mickey Lynn.
You saw the smile on Marcia Hardcastle, Samoa coach, looking at the time.
Well, panic has set in for both camps here. It's become error-riddled, it's become a little sloppy. Samoa looking just to hold their nerve. They've got to steady, they've got to calm down.
Tired bodies out there, both sides. Oh, great vision by Williams. Look one way and hammered it through the middle.
That is the best pass of the game. Brooke Williams has just won her team the game, you would say. It's a fantastic ball into Tanamo. And the margin is 5. Samoa in possession. They are closing in on their first victory in Sydney. Tanamo to close it out. She seals it for Samoa. You've got to feel for Singapore. Nothing but big hearts from them.
And it stuck right in there. They came ahead of them in the third quarter.
They were forced to fight back not once, not twice, but 3 times. They scores were level at three-quarter time. But the last quarter has belonged to Samoa.
Vantage obstruction, vantage contact with defense. Vantage contact.
Just trying to milk the clock now. No sense of urgency. They're happy to slow things down. And Tanamo adds the finishing touches. It's been a long time coming for Samoa. They lost to Jamaica on the first day by 46 goals. They lost to Scotland by 11. They lost to England by 51. But on the 5th day at the 2015 Netball World Cup, Samoa celebrates its first victory. And they got there in the end, 7 goals over a brave and gutsy Singapore, who certainly lost no fans today. Final score, Samoa 46, Singapore 39.